Hello. Welcome to the weekly wind-up with myself, Emma Kirk. You may remember today's guest from an earlier show, but just in case you missed it, Nichola is sometimes referred to as Nick's Nutrition. She's a registered dietitian and she's joining me today to talk about the increasingly common phenomena of obesity. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
Obesity is definitely on the increase, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think are the main reasons for that?
There's a few different reasons. I think firstly we're moving less, so we're jumping in our car for a 5-minute journey down the road, where before people used to walk a lot more. We've got lots of labour-saving devices, and on the other side, food is more abundant than ever. So we've got all of these lovely, delicious foods in supermarkets that are constantly on offer. We've got 24-hour fast food outlets. So we're eating more, maybe we don't realise it, and we're moving less. So that's why, as a nation, we are getting bigger.
And is it the types of foods that are changing as well?
I think definitely. So if we talk about foods in terms of energy density, so a lot of the high calorie foods, they're very energy dense, so they don't take up much volume, but because they're so high in fat, high in sugar, high in salt as well, they're very palatable, so we want to eat more, and they provide a lot of calories, and we're basically just not burning them off. So we might think that we're eating enough for our bodies, but actually if we're eating slightly more than what our bodies need, it just gets stored as fat. So it's as simple as that.
So what tips have you got to avoid that process happening within our bodies?
So I think firstly I would look at how often you're eating throughout the day. Yep. So 3 regular meals.
Don't ask me.
I think regular meals are recommended, and there's no hard science around that, but the problem is if people aren't having 3 regular meals, they might be grazing constantly throughout the day. So you can fill a bath with a dripping tap. So if people are constantly grazing, they might be consuming more calories. And B, if people are skipping meals, then they might become that term hungry and angry. And then they overeat later on in the day, and all of a sudden don't have time to cook, and they might get a takeaway, and things like chocolate and cake become so much more attractive later on in the evening. So that's why I recommend regular meals. And when it comes to a meal time, basing them around plants, so filling half your plate with salad or vegetables, a fist-sized serving of carbs, or more if you're active, and then a palm-sized serving of protein. So that's a good, easy rule of thumb to remember.
Okay, so if I'm coming to see you and you're doing me a personal diet plan, how do you go about that? How do you start?
So I would say, as a dietitian, we don't actually do diet plans.
Okay.
Our aim is to help people to make more informed choices and to basically educate them so that they can do their own diet plan, because everyone's got different lifestyles, they've got different food preferences. So we might show them an example diet plan, but then talk about why the diet plan's good, how much fluid we should be having in a day, how many portions of fruit and vegetables, and basically get them to come up with their own that suits their lifestyle so that it's more sustainable in the long term. We can all follow diet plans given by someone else in the short term, but realistically it's not going to work long term.
So basically help that person to make better choices.
Yes, exactly.
So if I wanted to watch you or see what you're doing on social media, how do I get get some hints and tips from you?
So on Twitter, I'm at Nick's Nutrition. On Instagram, I share things about like what I eat throughout the day. So I'm at Nick's Nutrition as well, and I'm on Facebook and YouTube as well. And I host like regular Q&A. So if anyone's got any questions, then feel free to ask me them.
Perfect. So if you were, obviously I watch you on social media anyway, but have you got any interesting projects that are happening this year around obesity or anything else?
So I've got lots of different things going on. I do a lot of work with brands, so I help them to make more informed messages to consumers. What else have I got going on? I'm doing some exciting filming with different brands. We spoke before, I would love to write a book, so there's some really interesting things going on about that. And I ask my followers what do they want to hear and what would they find useful, so I base it around that. For example, this week we had a plant power day, so I was showing people how they can eat more plants in their diet. So I take whatever people want.
So led by your followers or led by brands?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, and I just help them to steer the messaging so that it's evidence-based. So if a brand wants to put out something that I'm not happy with, I help them to change it so that it is evidence-based and it's helpful for the consumer as well.
Are you doing product development with these brands then, or is it just the wording for the messages?
Yeah, it might be both actually.
Okay.
Mainly I suppose it's the wording. So I might advise companies that they can't say certain things. You hear a lot of big claims, you know, for example, green tea extract causes weight loss. Well, if you actually look at the research, it might help with weight loss a little bit, but you know, even 4 cups of green tea isn't going to counteract a biscuit.
Finally, if you have like some really concise little tips for people who are maybe wanting to control obesity, lose a bit of weight, or be just a little bit healthier, what would that be?
Yeah, so I would definitely say to start with a food diary, because knowledge is power, so get to know what you're eating on a day-to-day basis. My second tip would be to look at your meal plate and understand that the diet for weight loss, like the diet for diabetes, is no different from any other person's diet. It's all about the portion sizes on your plate. So half plate of veg, your fist size of carbs, palm size of protein. And the third would be to look at fluid as well. So often hunger and thirst can get confused. So make sure that your wheat is a pale straw colour. Make sure that consuming lots of maybe water, tea, coffee, squash, it all counts. And that'll help you to keep energised throughout the day and to help you to recognise what's true hunger.
So after my 4 cups of green tea, if I'm still hungry, I'm probably hungry.
So have a piece of fruit or yogurt or your meal if it's due.
Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Thank
It's
you.
so informative, and I know everybody will have learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you wish to discuss this or any other topic you see on KLTV, our social media and contact details are on the screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Emma Kirk. Goodbye for now.